Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, and this will be an interesting one, to say the least, and probably a very controversial video, but I'm used to that. Now, it's funny, I did a post recently on this film, and then I deleted it because there's a couple things that changed from that post, which I'll get to. But the movie I'm talking about today is Hulk from 2003. And kind of a weird journey with me in this film. When I first saw it in the theater, I remember not minding the film, but then got on DVD and I watched it. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, for most people were saying it was bad because of lack of action, being pretentious, being an artsy-fartsy film than a Hulk film. And then I kind of, yeah, it is slow and it is not much action. And I think I even did a video longer ago with my friends, like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, probably like a podcast, talking about, oh, well, yeah, this film sucks. But watch it again, and then watching the next film I'll talk about, I really enjoyed this movie, watching it again. I really enjoyed this film. Yeah, I see a couple bits here and there being taken out. I could definitely see more action. I could definitely understand that. But I really did enjoy this film. And after watching this movie again, no one's going to agree with me, and that's fine. This is my favorite Hulk film. The more I thought about it, and that's why I took down my post on Facebook. Just like, yeah, this is the better Hulk film. But I still like this film. Edward Norton and the ending are the main reasons why. But when you watch this film again, there's not as much action as people make it out to be. In fact, if you timed it, you might see that both these films have the same amount of action. It's just that this film's a bit longer than this one. But I do still like this film, but it went a little bit lower, and this one went a lot higher. I'm not doing this just to be different. It's my honest opinion. What people call pretentious, I really, really appreciated what it tried to do. I appreciated the fences that it tried to go up and over. I think for the most part, not all, but for the most part, succeeded. I thought there were a lot of things in this film. The Hulk character. This Hulk is easily better than anything Mark Ruffalo has done. I'm sorry. Mark Ruffalo, in retrospect, what has the Hulk really done? Got his ass kicked in Age of Ultron, in retrospect. Although I still love Age of Ultron. They fucked up Planet Hulk in Thor Ragnarok, even though I still liked the film, but I even said that was a bit stupid. And then he became a walking joke. If you watch Avengers Endgame, he's a walking joke. He's just there for punchlines. That's not the case here. This is actual study into the character of Bruce Banner and the character of the Hulk. And in this age of cookie cutter superhero movies, that's, same old, same old. Sometimes they're not even bad movies. They're just like, because they just in one ear out the other movies. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp I never reviewed because it's not a bad movie, but it's just in one ear out the other type of movie. But this one, I appreciate the depth it was trying to go for. I appreciate the idea that Bruce Banner, that there's an actual reason given for why he's always so angry. Why there's a reason why he's always so furious, because of this repressed memory, from his childhood, where his father accidentally murdered his mom. And his father was doing these experiments on himself, which led to his kid, Bruce Banner, being infected. And how they gave a bit more of a reason. It wasn't just some random chance like another Hulk stuff. They actually gave a bit more of a deeper reason. As, I mean, where Mark Ruffalo, what he's saying in the first Avengers, I'm always angry, but you never know why. They never go into why. And nowadays, he's just happy-go-lucky. He's fucking smiling tits up. But this actually gives you the rage of the Hulk. It gives you the Hulk that's angry, and you get that in Edward Norton's film too. But this one, I appreciate what Ang Lee was trying to do with this film, because I want to see more people go for the fences. I want to see people try different stuff. Sometimes they'll fail. Man of Steel, you could argue, well, they try to do something different. Yeah, but in my opinion, that how people view, and I guess in a way, like I know my friend Efrey will 100% disagree with me because Hulk is his favorite character and he despises this film. But if I ever talked to him, I would say, well, maybe not in the right way, but he likes Man of Steel. I fucking despise Man of Steel. Look at the reverse. I think, maybe why some people like Man of Steel and I hate it is also why I love this movie and people hate this movie. I don't know, that's a confusing way I said it, but even, other than the story, a lot of people hate the editing style in this film. I fucking loved it. I love the editing style. I don't understand the hate for it. I know my friend Michael CP, he hates the film too. And one of the things he said was, well, it's trying to be a very serious, pretentious story, but the editing takes you out of it. I disagree 100%, and I don't see that. I don't get it. To each their own, though. If people are okay with Alfred Hitchcock doing that stuff in thrillers, if people are okay with Brian De Palma doing that stuff in thrillers, like, why is it that Brian De Palma and Alfred Hitchcock can do that in their thrillers? The same crazy editing, split screens, but you're not taking it out of those films. And then people give this a hard time? I don't really understand it. I like it. It's almost as if Scott Speedle, who directed Intruder, an 80s slasher film, he directed From Dusk Till Dawn 2. It's almost as if someone like him directed a film. It made it energetic to me. It made it lively. It made it interesting. It made the movie look interesting, look unique, look outside of the pack. Not the same old, I'm going to get people pissed again. Black Panther. Why do I keep mentioning that film throughout some videos? Because that's a film that was nominated for an Oscar for Best Picture. Now, can someone tell me, for a film that was nominated for Best Picture, what was so good about the directing of that film, Black Panther? Name me something. Because I can't think of one thing about the direction of that film. The way it was shot, the camera work, editing. Nothing stands out compared to any other Marvel film. Can someone tell me? This, though, Ang Lee went for the fences, and whether it be when Bruce Banner's looking at a photograph and then cuts to him holding the picture, looking at his girlfriend Jennifer Connelly, and without cutting, his character walks into the picture. And then, boom, we have flowed into a flashback. I'm like, okay, that was a really interesting way of moving us into a flashback. It was intriguing. It was unique. Dare I say original. The split screens, I enjoyed. It creates some really cool sequences. Like when Josh Lucas, who's one of our villains, human villains, and Bruce Banner, they're on both sides of a door, and the split screen like part of the door is here. As one opens, one like as Josh Lucas opens the door, one goes this way. How do I put it? It goes like this, like, like this, or like I forget. Anyway, it's like it makes an interesting visual look of, oh, now we're opened up into a new scene, and that's what I mean. Like it's, I love that kind of stuff. I don't always want to see the same old shit. Of course, just like with everyone, it's point of view, it's personal perspective, and it's for sometimes you try something new, it doesn't work. Man of Steel for me is one of them. Sometimes you try something new and it did work. And this film, I wouldn't call it as underrated. It's an underrated flick. I did not expect that. I thought when I did these reviews, I would easily say this was a better film. But I really, for me, this is the better film. I will say, though, Edward Norton is the best Bruce Banner. I will say that. He's the best part of that movie, which I'll get to. But I do like Eric Bana. Once in a Blue Moon, there's a moment, it's like, but I think that's probably how he was directed. And when he's talking about his heartbeat, he's going, boom, boom, boom. Are you coming or going? Are you coming in your pants or, like moment. So once in a blue moon, but overall, I thought Eric Bana did a good job, and I liked him in this movie. I quite liked him in this film. Jennifer Connelly as Betty, I think she did a better job than Liv Tyler. Liv Tyler, I was not much a fan of in this movie. I thought Jennifer Connelly was more likable, more of a sweeter gal, and I just like her more as an actress. Liv Tyler I don't hate, but Jennifer Connelly I like more. Sam Elliott, I mean, I fucking love Sam Elliott, and he was great as Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah, I thought he was better than William Hurt. William Hurt doesn't do a bad job, but he's no Sam Elliott. He's no Sam Elliott. And Nick Nolte, I know people don't like his performance, but watch it again. I liked it. I didn't have much problems with Nick Nolte's performance. I really didn't. The score. I just saw this film. I can't remember the music in this movie. But this one, I like Danny Elfman's score. Around this time, he was doing scores for Spider-Man. I think this was a better score than Spider-Man. This one, I thought it gave a certain mood to the film. Not horror, but it was a little bit of a darker, serious. And that's the thing. I like that they tried to make a serious Hulk film. I like that. I really got invested in the story. I really felt bad for the Bruce Banner character. You know, how he's a baby and his fucking father takes the pacifier away to watch the baby. And, the Nick Nolte, it's not him playing it. This is a younger version of his character. He's doing these experiments and, regeneration, immortality. But he has a baby with his wife. He said, what if I passed on? Something bad happens. Bruce wakes up. And a lot of the editing style, like The Nightmare, there's a scene where the door opens and you see something in the shadow of the door. And watch it again, oh, that's the Hulk. But you barely see him. You see like a silhouette, a little bit of his face. And it's like, oh, shit. And then that's when it's like the inner demon is in the closet. And it's just ready to come out. That didn't sound right, but come out of the closet. A different come out of the closet. But something's hidden underneath and wants to let out. Stan Lee, Lou Ferrigno have a cameo, just like Lou Ferrigno had a cameo in the Edward Norton film. But again, the editing I thought was really neat. Also, I like the fact that they went with the comic where he saves someone and then gets infected. Because in the TV show and in the Edward Norton movie, which that'd be the Mark Ruffalo character, it's just he's doing an experiment. He gets experimented on. Okay, he fucked himself over. But in this case, he didn't fuck himself over. He saved someone's life, which made me root for the character even a bit more. It made me feel even more sympathy that this gamma radiation started that thing deep inside him that was passed on from his dad long ago, and he did because he saved someone's life. Well, that's cool. It's like he tried to do the right thing, the righteous thing. And again, I gotta go back to the editing style. This is something that people are so hung up on. I don't get it. I love when that happens. It pushes into his eye, and then it pulls out, and you see that it's like the Hulk's eye. And it pushes back in. It's like a green explosion, and it's like, oh shit, that means the explosion has begun, and the Hulk is coming. And like I said, if you want to talk about action, this probably has as much action as the Edward Norton film. Because I don't hate this film. I do like this film. But I'm just saying, when people say it's wall-to-wall action, you only have when Edward Norton first turns the bottle factory, and he throws a couple people, and throws a big thing at Tim Roth's character that crushed through this catwalk. Then the scene on the lawn of the campus, and then the ending where he fights Abomination. If you think about it, that's the only action in the film. Although the fight with Abomination is a pretty decent fight, pretty good fight. I'll give you that. But time-wise, running time-wise, you can't say it has more action than this. Because this, it has the Hulk smashing through the lab. And then Josh Lucas, who's this dickhead who pretty much wants Eric Bana's job. And he warns him, you're making me angry. Smashes through the house, throwing people with rad dolls, throws the couch right through the fucking house. There's a fight scene he has with the Hulk dogs. And I know people complain about that, but watching it didn't bother me. And I forgot how brutal the dog scene was. Because, like, he punches through a dog's mouth. And it's like what was the movie I'm thinking of? Like Feast? You know the movie Feast or something where the arm is in a creature's mouth? It's like, and then like beats the fuck out of him. This green mist is going everywhere. I'm like, man, imagine if this was red. Imagine if that color was red. It'd be especially brutal. And he does like a pound and fucking more green mist. But I like the idea of this repressed memory and this serious trauma and this ongoing thing that deep down subconsciously is why it's consistently making him angry. I like that approach. It gave it not a sense of morality, although that's part of it too, but a sense of, I don't know, relatability is not the right word. Maybe, sadly, for some relatability, but just more for the character to overcome in his head, not just physically, but also more of a sympathy for the character as well. I like that he admits that, when it comes over me and I totally lose control, I like it. Which I think for a lot of people, they secretly would like it as well. Nick Nolte, he does the gamma theme himself, and It's sort of a mix of the absorbing man from the comics, and that's mainly what he is. And I thought that was interesting, that he could absorb any material he touches, or consume energy. I thought the effects were pretty decent considering this 2003, where he's like almost as if he was the T-1000. His foot kind of merges with the grate. He lifts it up and it flips the guard towards him, and he just fucking slams this thing right on the guard's head, fucking his day up forever. By this point, Bruce Banner's been taken. He's in this water because George Lucas beats the fuck out of him, trying to get him mad, then knocks him out, and then puts him under sort of this water suspended, not suspended animation, but in the water to subconsciously try to make him mad, which is not the right decision because that's where he finds out that Nick Nolte's character killed his mom accidentally because he tried to kill him when he was a kid, and the wife stopped it. And Bruce had saw him when he was a kid, and that made him pissed off. And this is where you get like the big long action scene in the movie, and this is my favorite action scene with the Hulk in any movie. I gotta admit, watching this again, uh, it really shows the Hulk as a badass motherfucker. It really does. This is like the Hulk that would not be stopped because he's smashing the lab. There's a nice combination of practical effects. Like he launches a big fucking thing, and they actually have a real big fucking thing smashing through. There's this foam that he is caught. And I like the idea, which I thought was in the comics. Someone could tell me wrong, but I thought it was in the comics too. But some people say it wasn't. That the more angry he gets, the bigger and stronger he gets. Is that a thing in the comics? If not, I like that idea. If it is, this is the only movie that did that. Because he gets more and more pissed, so he gets bigger and bigger, and he breaks out of the foam and fucks up Josh Lucas's day because the dumbass shoots a grenade launcher which bounces off the Hulk and kills himself like the idiot he is. But he's destroying the lab, smashing shit. He gets outside. He's running fast. And he takes these long leaps that make Superman cream in his pants. And it's like, we've never seen the Hulk do this in any movie, sadly, since. It just shows the power of the Hulk. It shows, that's why I would love to have seen a sequel to this. Because it shows that the Hulk is not one to be fucked with. The balls bounce off of him. He's outrunning the missiles. He's just whipping missiles like they're nothing. He's taking these long-ass Superman leaps. I love the bit where he takes a tank and he fucking swings it and says, fuck you. There's another one where it's like, you shoot at me, he rips the top off and just beats the fuck out of it. And then he looks at the other tank, and I forgot about this part, it made me laugh. He's walking and he does this sort of, imagine like this is like part of the, I think it was part of the tank still. And he's kind of like, as he's going to that, and he just takes the barrel and fucking turns it so the barrel faces the drivers of the tank. You get real practical helicopters, not just CGI shit. Again, there's a nice usage of practicality in here. And you know what? The look of the Hulk doesn't bother me in this film anymore. I think it did in the past, but watching it again, I don't think the effects are that bad, especially the up-close facial, maybe because I saw it on Blu-ray. But the up-close facial texture of the Hulk is not that bad, and the look didn't bother me. This look does not bother me of the Hulk. It really doesn't. Yeah, you say it looks a little bit like the Jolly Green Giant, but this is 10 times better than Professor Hulk. I don't care if that was in the comics. It still looked like shit in Endgame. He's jumping on helicopters, fucking that up. He's throwing missiles back at the helicopters. He literally takes a missile, bites the tip of it, spits it, and fucks up a helicopter. This guy's eating missiles for breakfast. Or, as a redneck would say, he's eating them for breakfast. Just the tip of the fucking missile. It's like, kiss my ass. That was... And then when he's jumping through the canyons, and the music that Danny Elfman plays, almost a little bit of majestic feel. It's like, wow, there's definitely... To me, I think this treated the character well. Because they didn't make him a joke. They took the character seriously. I think for most people, it was too seriously. But man, I mean... Okay, someone would say, what's a character you love? The Ninja Turtles, Raphael. If someone treated that character as seriously and proficiently as this was, I would love it. I would fucking love it. I mean, if you think about it, this is why people like Batman, Christopher Nolan stuff, right? But this did it before that. Well, then what's your problem with the Batman movies? By knowing Christian Bale's voice is a big factor because that's Batman. Anytime he talks, it's like, takes me out of the movie. And then Sean Connery Vader and Dark Knight Pisses, well, hello, Batman. Welcome to die. Not going to get into that. But I love that whole scene. And then even in San Francisco, he fucking smashes and all his real cars topple over. I won't give credit where credit's due. This one, at the end fight, you do get the Hulk smash on the ground, and then when he takes the pieces of the cop car and uses them as boxing gloves. That was cool too. I think if you had that scene at the end of this movie, although I don't mind the ending as much as other people do, I think if you had that as part of it, or maybe you had one more thing that Nick Nolte sipped on the Hulk, and Hulk will beat its ass, like he did with the Abomination in this. Like he tested on something else, and then that creature went after the Hulk, and the Hulk did the, boxing glove car thing. I think that's one thing that could have been added to this film. The scene that really sold the movie for me, and when I'm like, oh my god, I remember in the theater, as soon as I saw the scene, it took me back to when I saw this in the theater. I'm like, how could I forget this scene? Really shows why this film, to me, is the best Hulk film, in my opinion. Is in San Francisco. He has saved this plane, although no one knows it, but he saved this plane from being smashed. But the plane's taking him to the atmosphere. He falls back to Earth. And we cut to a dream. I don't know how you want to put it. A bathroom mirror. And Eric Bana is shaving. And he looks, and he moves his hand. And anytime he moves, the Hulk's finger is moving with it on the other side of the mirror. And they're kind of doing the same movements, mirror image. And Hulk smashes through and he goes, puny human. You never got that in any other Hulk film, if you think about it. Edward Norton tried in the deleted scene, when the big alternate opening where he wanted to kill himself, but Hulk, I think maybe that's what Edward Norton wanted more in his film. But that, because you think about, the Hulk is a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde story. I know Stan Lee mention the Frankenstein monster. But to me, it's Jekyll and Hyde. You have Dr. Bruce Banner, Dr. Jekyll, and then you have Mr. Hyde, the anger, the rage of the Hulk. And that one scene personifies that. And I really enjoyed watching that again. Even the whole thing at the end, not the end, but at the end of the San Francisco scene, where Jennifer Connelly comes in and calms the Hulk down, I'm like, sorry, Black Widow, Jennifer Connelly beat you to it. Like literally, Jennifer Connelly does the same thing that Black Widow would do later on in the Avengers movies. I'm like, did they fucking steal from this? Well, it's a common thing. It's not, a beautiful woman who calmed down the beast. It's nothing new. But I'm just saying, wow, this is familiar. Wow, this is like almost the same thing that Black Widow did in the Avengers films. Go figure. Now, I will say the ending I do like, but a little bit of the weaker part of the movie where he's been caught again. Nick Nolte is able to see his son. He bites his electrical thing, absorbs the energy, and then I say it's a bit weaker, but I don't hate it because there's still a lot of good stuff to it. Like, I love the shot where he takes Hulk into the clouds, and like these beautiful like still shots through the clouds of like the Hulk and Nick Nolte's electrical character at this point. It's kind of fighting, like struggling amongst each cloud and each lightning cascading over the cloud. I'm like, wow, that's a really cool shot. Like, that's a really cool visual sequence that I haven't really seen before. And he still gets some action. I mean, it really does show the abilities of the absorbing man, where he absorbs the rock and the Hulk is punching through the rock. It's not doing anything. And then the water. Again, maybe if this was a two-way battle. But I don't know. I say weak. But I'm wondering if I'm really saying that because so many people call it a weak ending. Because I do like what it was trying to do. So maybe I'll take that back. Because he's being held down in the water. And then Nolte's character's like, I want all your energy. I want all your anger. I want all your rage. And then Bruce is thinking, the Hulk is thinking about all of these things that's happened with his life. And the Hulk says, you want it? Take it. Take it all! And just unleashes his whole rage, which Nolte feeds on, but then gets overloaded and gets a big overdose. He's like, no, take it back. It gives him all the rage, all the pent-up rage, anger, hatred throughout the decades because of this inner repressed memories and trauma. Gives it this energy of trauma back to his asshole fuck-faced dad, which then becomes this physical thing and the military destroys. And then you think he's dead, but he's off in another country. And in retrospect, I would love to have seen a sequel. I think actually the sequel was going to have Abomination in it. And if Ang Lee did it, with the same cool, interesting visual style, the same depth, but maybe it could be the Superman 2 or Star Trek 2. So people want to use those examples. Those are films where the first film was much more, wasn't as much about the action, and then the sequel was more action-oriented. Maybe that could have happened with Hulk 2. And I would like to have seen that. I really would. I know no one's going to agree with this, but watch this again, I really quite enjoyed it. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it watching it again. Like I said, I appreciate the depth, the story that it was telling. I love the energetic visual editing. It kept me involved, like what was going to happen next, and made it more unique, made it more of a visual treat to view. It wasn't the same old put the camera down or schizophrenic shaky cam. Like to me, that's shit, not this. The score by Danny Elfman is underrated. I thought he did a really good job with the score. The cast do a wonderful job. Eric Bana, like Jennifer Connelly, and Sam Elliott were wonderful. Josh Lucas was hamming it up a bit, but I think the movie kind of knew that because even his death is a bit comedic. So maybe the movie was doing that on purpose. The visuals, part of the weaker visuals are the dogs, but the Hulk himself, I didn't. The visual effects on him did not bother me watching this again. And just again, a lot of those greats. It has a lot of great scenes. The big action Hulk smash scene is wonderful. The scene where the mirror image in the bathroom. One's moving his hand, the other's moving his big finger, and sort of the Hulk breaking out, "Puny human." And apparently in the sequel, I think Ang Lee wanted to do Grey Hulk. I believe that was the case. Which would have been interesting to see how that played out, Grey Hulk. How that would come about. It's just, even Ang Lee later on, I know he said, and he's like, yeah, I took that film too seriously. I should have had more fun with it. But in retrospect, I'm glad he took it seriously because just almost every I mean, there's serious done wrong, like Batman v Superman, Dawn of Butt Sex. And then, like, all the other films are just fun, cookie cutter. And, it's fun for a while, but then it just gets stale. It's like candy. I like candy, but you can't have candy every fucking day. Or you just get the diabetes. But yeah, quite enjoyed this film. I know I'm going to get a lot of people pissed off. No one's going to be agreeing with me on it, but I do think this is an underrated film. And watch it again. When I made that post on Facebook, I now rewatched this. For me, this is my favorite Hulk film. This is my favorite Hulk movie. The next time, I will talk about the decent flick, The Incredible Hulk, which doesn't deserve the forgotten MCU forgetting the movie. It's not one of the worst ones in MCU, not by a long shot. It's a decent film. But thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.